Damn it. Shit. Damn it. All right. Whatever. That'll do, pig. That'll do. It's gonna have to. Damn it. I still just a little bit. There we go. Cool. All right. So still a little high. Perfect. Okay. 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 I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Hello. No one's here yet, so let me check into the chats myself. All right. Hmm. Okay. And I'm buffering over here. All right. Thank you for whoever else clicked like and logged right back out. Um, Welcome to Miss Sarah. I'm Miss, and this is Cosmic Chat with Miss. Tonight's topic is quantum theories. I was just gonna say quantum physics, but I didn't want to scare people too bad. Theories sounds a whole lot better, which is really more so what it kind of is. So let us, I don't know why I keep going through this, keeps changing my search engine. Okay. So, hey, Marie. Hey. Oh my gosh, I am so swollen. I leaned my leg up against that crate for a minute. I have like a huge dent. Okay, moving forward. So, today in Cosmic Chat with MissNJoy, we are here to discuss quantum theories and the multiverse theories. We're also going to touch on time travel and Mandela effect, which are all related theories. We're going to get into like who Nikola Tesla is and what CERN is. Ooh. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, quantum physics is a study. Let me read you, because why take notes when we have the internet? Let me read you a proper definition. Quantum physics is the study of the behavior of matter and energy at the atomic, molecular, nuclear, and even smaller microscopic levels. In the early 20th century, scientists discovered that the laws governing macroscopic objects do not function the same in such small realms. So basically, matter, which is what everything in the universe or possible universe sizes are made up of, functions differently under different circumstances. Okay? All right. There are several experiments that have been done in order to prove this. It's almost like matter has its own brain of sorts, as in it functions in the way that it is expected to function. I forget what it was they used. It was some type of like a stencil or something of some sort, or grate. And the theory was to shoot ink or paint, I think it was, through this grate and look at the splatter pattern on the wall. And it's like when it wasn't watched, it wasn't paid attention to, or let's say the matter has a brain, it assumed it wasn't being watched, and the splatter pattern was just kind of random. But when it was being watched and observed, and I should say, if it has a brain, it would realize it was being watched and observed, it formed the splattered pattern in according to the grate or the stencil it was being shot through, if you get what I'm saying. It's like matter would be like the WB frog. You know, the little froggy that, hello, my baby, hello, my darling. You know how when the guy would take the frog and try to get the frog to sing and dance in front of other people, and the frog would just sit there and go, ribbit. Because people were watching, and he knew people were watching, and it was driving the guy crazy because the minute he got alone with the frog started to sing and dance and shit. It's kind of like that. But this is matter. So how can it think, right? That's the thing. So, and that's wherein people think that, for instance, there are certain belief structures where people believe that everything, even, this is the spoon I use to scoop my bath salts and aromatherapies. This spoon, even though it's plastic, has feelings and thoughts, even though it's an inanimate object. So there are actual people that believe that you should respect everything because everything has feelings and thoughts just like you, whether you know it or not. Okay? All right. So that would make it not such a crazy thought. Now, what does quantum physics tell us? While relativity is great at describing the universe on visible scales, quantum physics tells us about the way things work on the level of atoms and subatomic particles. According to quantum theories, if you examine the fabric of space-time close enough, it should be made of teeny tiny grains of information. Okay? And I'm pretty sure most of you, if you've taken any type of physical science class, have heard the basic laws of quantum physics. Quantum physics and general relativity. These two scientific laws represent radically different fields of study. Quantum physics studies are of the very smallest objects in nature, while relativity tends to study nature on the scale of planets, galaxies, and the universe as a whole. So, let's go ahead and jump into all right. Multiverses. There are a lot of different theories about the multiverses. And there are several different kinds of multiverses. One would be inflationary. Multiverse is formed of pockets and can form a multiverse from a collapsed multiverse. So that's like That's like saying if something goes wrong in one multiverse, there can be a spinoff and create another multiverse. Have you heard the theory that somewhere in 2012, that the world actually, our universe as we know it, our world as we know it, actually did end? And we kind of jumped timelines to another multiverse so that we didn't notice? That would be the thing. Kind of sort of like that. Okay? Then there is, that's inflationary. Um, Terms that the whole universe floats on a brain, and there can be several brains holding multiverses, which means there's just copies of Earth floating around. And some believe even existing possibly in the same space, just on a different time continuum. I hope you get that. I told y'all, this one was not for the weak. It's hard when you know something sometimes to explain it, though. So it's basically like there's Earth A, B, C, D. Watch Rick and Morty. Okay? You would have to watch Rick and Morty to understand what I'm talking about. Rick and Morty are from one Earth. And there are a bunch of other Earths. And on every Earth, there's a Rick and Morty. So in every Earth, there would be a you. But there might be something slightly different about you on that plant, in that other universe, on the other Earth. You get what I'm saying? So in Rick and Morty, all the Earths have a different number. And like they even know what number he's like. I'm Rick from, I think it's A1. I forget the number. I used to know it. I haven't watched in a while. A17 something is, I think it's A179. I don't know, but he's from a specific Earth, and so like he says he's the best one. He's like the rickiest Rick. He says so, claiming he's the smartest or the best of all the Ricks from all the other planets, all the other Earths, and there are lots and lots and lots of Mortys as well. So they, at a point, can even get mixed up and intertwined. And it's like they have like a galactic federation. It's like galactic police who are out for that one specific Rick from that one specific Earth because he has done so many space crimes. Okay? There's even an episode where Morty's dad is taken, they take him with them, and they may or may not have, and you don't know because they're the same, just from different planets. They mix him up. They take him to like a daycare where there's lots of them, and they just drop him off so that he can stay safe while they go out and have adventures, and they go back and pick up their specific, I forget his name, dad. And so they go back to pick him up, and it's a possibility that they like got him mixed up, and they were like, they basically didn't even give a damn. They're just like, yeah, just okay, come on, and took him with him. And so that would be something like the brain theory, okay? Quilted multiverses can only exist in the infinite system where the amount of space is infinite. Okay, this is where you have an infinite number of Earths. There's just like so many. And which one? Let me see. Simulated. Computer simulation. Landscape. And that would be based on the fact that, or, well, you still couldn't say that because we're not sure, because we don't know, that our own universe is infinite, which it is, but there are other universes. You get what I'm saying? So this would be based on the fact that our universe is actually just so enormous that it's actually holding, because it would also have to hold not just our Earth, it would have to hold all of the planets. It would have to hold a sun, a Mercury, a Venus, an Earth, a Mars, a Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and a Pluto. It would have to hold all of that. So it would have to be really, really, really infinite. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, all right, moving forward. Then there's a holographic multiverse that can exist in the terms of an information of a regic surface area. So it will almost be like a reflection of each Earth, if you get what I'm saying. A copy. Because that's what a hologram is. Okay. I should have picked a simpler one. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I like the way they explained it in the video that I posted, because they used the word sister, universe, and no, that's still. Okay. The simulated multiverse. The type of universe that can be made by a computer simulation. This is one of the most popular ones. And the one that everybody is going to relate the most to, the movie The Matrix. This is like when you hear everybody say, "Hey Desiree, where you been, girl?" This is like when you hear everybody say, "We're in a matrix." There's a glitch in the matrix, and where the theory of the Mandela effect comes from. Okay? That there are multiple universes, just like in all the other theories, but yet they're all controlled and we're in a computer simulation. So basically, it's like there's beings that are more advanced, more intelligent, and run all this. And that our universe, our Earth, is just one of all of the computer simulated Earths that are being controlled by these whoever's. Okay? And that sometimes, just like we make a mistake on the computer, there's a glitch in a video game, YouTube algorithms fuck up, we buffer, we make a typo, there's a discrepancy or a mistake in a code within a computer program or a game or something of that nature, that the same thing happens to us from time to time. So I'll tell my daughter this earlier. The Mandela effect really, really relates to me because I swear, I remember so clearly being about 10 or so years old, and my aunt having a hissy, because my aunt's very, very militant, very aware of what was going on in South Africa at the time apartheid was taking place and things of that nature. And she explained, I remember her very specifically explaining to me why she was very upset that Nelson Mandela had died in prison in the 80s, and what he had done to become incarcerated in that country, and that in this country freedom of speech is a free thing, and that he was a journalist and he was simply writing things and columns and bringing causes to light and discussing things that they didn't want him to talk about. I remember that shit. So it didn't really dawn on me till like he became president years later, because I'm sitting there to myself going, didn't he die? How is he free and running for president over there? How? And then he passed away again. And I was like, well, maybe. And then when I realized, and the internet got big, and I realized that other people had the same memory, I was like, okay, I'm not alone. The other thing that happened to me is my ex had a story about a particular person and what occurred when he dealt with this person. And he told this story the exact same way, and this was before me. So there was no need for him to lie. And both stories were equally as trashy. You get what I'm saying? It's not like he told this story, it was about a girl, to put this girl down, but because both stories were equally as trashy, she was still looked just as bad in either scenario. But for several years, he told this story exactly the same. Then all of a sudden, I'm not sure at which point, the story changed, and he swore he did not have any recollection of the story that he previously told me. And I was like, I know damn well it was different. And I've said for a long time, and I said to him on several occasions that I feel like, and I said to him, well, y'all have seen my tattoo, y'all know his name, and I've said to him, Brandon, I don't think you're the one I fell in love with. I don't think that that's the same Brandon that I fell in love with. At some point, I honestly and wholeheartedly believe that I jumped timelines. I don't know when, I don't know where, but I don't think that's the same one. Okay? I don't know what this one, and it explains a lot. It explains a lot. So, then you got the landscape multiverse, and there are lots of them. There are people that remember things being spelled differently, like the Berenstain Bears and the Berenstein Bears and Looney Tunes. Something about the symbol with the Beats by Dre. I remember that one too. There's several. Skechers, logo, symbol, and how the name is spelled, and things of that nature. Okay? Which people just don't remember. At movies that I remember existing don't exist. There's a couple of specific movies that I remember existing that do not exist, and I'm like, wait a minute, I remember that shit. But they're like, no, there was no, not that. And I was like, what the hell? All right, Desi, you went to Vegas, go girl, yay! I'm so proud of you. I hope you did something risky and nasty and dirty while you was on vacation, Desiree. All right, so, so, that being said, that explains Mandela effect. It's remembering something different than it actually is in current time. But knowing that, like, wait a minute, yeah, it was. Okay. All right, so, and hey, K-Ma, oh, you walking the other people, dog? Okay, now, landscape multiverses are depending on the Calibi Yao space. I don't know that one. We just gonna move on. Okay. And then there's the one, okay, I forget what they say. I think this one is called, all right, I forget exactly what this one is called, but it's it's where you would make for every decision you make. I think that's the cyclic. Where for every decision you make, another multiverse, another universe, another Earth is formed. Another reality is formed. So, for instance, I've actually had some clues from my spirit guide about this, and that this is actually accurate. And that in one, the sad thing to me was I have a son. I have a son that is incarcerated. And that was the saddest thing. I told my daughter about it. She was like, "Oh, really?" He said, like, the one thing that was like the same in all of the multiverses that I would have that I exist in, were that because you don't exist in every one, that too. Different circumstances are going to create different scenarios, and you may or may not have been born. Okay? He said the one thing that is the same is that my son is incarcerated in every single one that I exist in, and that he exists in currently. And I was like, shit, what the fuck does that say? Um, for instance, this is the example that he gave me when explaining it. And it's odd because certain things were meant to happen and they were meant to happen. And this is an example of that. I know you have heard me say that my oldest son's father and the father of my children that I married, my husband, they died in the same week. Therein, my spirit guide had informed me. He was like, there is a universe, there is an earth, a reality where I never got with my husband. That I stayed with my oldest son's father. I had the same number of children, only all with him. And they had different names, but they were still the same ages and born at the same. I still had my son. I still had a 26-year-old daughter. I still had a 25-year-old son. I still had a set of 22-year-old twins, but their names were different. But I still had all these same people in spirit. I still was meant to have all of them, those souls in each existence. I was also told that, so that being said, and my mom pointed this out, she was like, so no matter what decision you made regarding that in your life, whether I had married, there's Sean, that was my son's father, and then there's Latario, who was my husband. No matter who I would have ended up marrying, I would have become a widow had I stayed with either one of them. I would have become a widow the same damn week, regardless to what decision I made. Imagine what that was like for my oldest son. I had to explain to him in the same week. Now, mind you, he's incarcerated, and I had a chaplain's jaw hit the damn desk because after him being informed that his stepfather, who raised him from the time he was 3, passed away, I had to go back just a few days later and tell him that his biological father had passed away. Either way, my life would have looked basically the same because they were both narcissists and they both had health issues. At exactly the same time, my son's father, Sean, developed kidney failure and remained on dialysis that entire time till he passed away in August of 2017. They removed the needle from one of his dialysis treatments. They could not stop the bleeding. He bled out and he died. And my husband, Latario, developed congestive heart failure due to sleep apnea and had high blood pressure. And that condition led to him dying of cardiac arrest August very same week, 2017. And they were both diagnosed around the same time, right around the time that my 25-year-old son was about 2 years old. So my life path, no matter which way I had gone, I basically probably had still ended up in the same scenario. Okay? So you tell me shit is not destined. But that being said, what that theory it says is that for every decision you make, a split takes place and another universe is born. So when I decided to leave Sean, kick his ass to the curb, another universe was formed where I didn't make that decision and I stayed with his ass. So when I decided to, on my wedding, I tell you guys all the time about how my marriage ended. It ended because I found out he had an affair for 15 years with a friend of mine. That affair began about 3 weeks before our wedding. On my wedding day, I was not sure. I did not want to marry that man. I paced back and forth. I thought about getting in the car with another dude that pulled up and was like, hey, you look good, get in the car. There's a me somewhere that got in that car. And apparently I'm the me that stayed, or one of the me's that stayed. There's a me who at the last minute said no. I fell in love with a girl at 21 years old. There's a me who stayed with that girl, apparently. Do you know what I mean? For every decision that you made, even if it's something as small as when someone called to ask you for a date, you said no. And somewhere someone else said yes and may have gone on to marry that person and have children with that person. Do you get what I'm saying? So for every decision you make, that theory is that there is another universe, another Earth that splits off, just poof, pops off and forms and goes off in that direction of whatever decision that was made. Like had I stayed my ass in school, like had I, you know what I mean? Had I kept a certain job, had I left a certain job, had you decided to, how many of you have ever, come on ladies, be honest. Some of y'all went to the abortion clinic and didn't go through with it. Some of you left. Some of you stayed. Somewhere, someone did the opposite. Somewhere, God forbid, I thought about it. I didn't go. But somewhere, there's a MissNJoy that went to the clinic and didn't keep her second child and finished her education. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. So, those are the most popular theories, though, are that there are different multiverses where there are slight changes. If you watch the YouTube video that I put on the Cosmic Chat watch list, there are people who woke up and had completely different spouses or boyfriends or girlfriends. Girl woke up, said her bed sheets were different. Her sister had an injury that she remembered that didn't occur. Her boyfriend was different. Her job was different. And her family thought she was batshit crazy. There was a guy who woke up, had a completely different girlfriend. Jump timelines at some point in his sleep. There are people that are said to have disappeared to another universe. The other one in that video was about a guy, a professor, a college professor, that people watched leave a building on campus, walk to his car, get in said car never moved. They go to the car. He's not in the car. He did not get out of the car. He was never found again. Okay? Okay. There's the stairs in the woods thing. Have you heard that one? Should you ever be walking through the woods, don't walk through the woods. I don't fuck with the woods. I'm black. I ain't got no business. I'm good. Sorry. Even when I get my home, it's on a mountain and I'm sure there's woods around it. I don't want to know nothing that's going on in the woods. I'm going to stay in my nice mowed property area. Okay? Okay. Um, if you should ever be in the woods and walk up on a staircase, don't climb that shit. There was a park ranger that climbed a staircase that miraculously appeared in the woods. He went up the stairs. He said he looked around. He came down. He felt like he was gone up there for maybe 5 minutes or so. He was gone for 5 years. Okay? Okay. All of these occurrences are related to quantum physics and quantum theories. If you've ever, some awesome time loops are another thing related to quantum physics and quantum theories. If you ever watched the movie Happy Death Day is one. What else? What the one with Murray, with Bill Murray, Groundhog Day. Come on, get your ass out the woods with the strange dog. Hi, Dean. How you doing? Oh my gosh. Okay. So, let me stay on track. Oh my God. All right. Welcome, Dion. Hey, you need another name. Because if somebody should watch my chat, you're in here and you know what I'm talking about. You need another YouTube name. Okay. All right. I just said your damn name and now I can't, but just that quick. I'm focused on too many things. All right. All right. So where was I? Time loops. There's another movie, Premonition. That's one with what's her name? The chick from the Bird movie with the blind, which you had to stay. Was that Julia Roberts? Is that Julie? Who is that? I can't think of her name. That's not Julia Roberts. Damn it, I can't think of her name. But Premonition is one. There's an episode of Charmed where Phoebe's stuck in a time loop. Sandra Bullock. Thank you, K-Ma. Sandra Bullock. Like I said, Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray. Happy Death Day 1 and 2, because the second one goes into multiverses where she's not just repeating the same day. They actually find a portal and they're being transported to other dimensions. Okay, where all kinds of weird and crazy shit happens. There's a guy on YouTube. It's up for debate as to whether or not this is he is using. Is he altering his videos to make it appear so? But he's stuck. He posts videos on TikTok, and I've been meaning to find the account and follow him. He apparently woke up in the hospital. He's in Spain. I forget the name of the city that he's in. He's in a very large city in Spain. And he woke up alone. He is completely alone in 2027. He even asks Alexa, what year is it? What date? What's today's date? And she clearly gives the dates. He walks all over the place. Some people believe it. Some people don't believe it. I don't know. But it's some type of parallel universe or occurrence. Either he's moved to the future, but they're more so focused on the fact that if it is actually going on, it's more of a parallel universe because he has a connection to 2021. Anything he posts still shows up here. And anything he leaves behind still shows up here. He's left things in places that people have actually gone to find. And no one saw anyone put it there. So, there's that. All these occurrences that are just there was one I saw about a lady who was going on a break somewhere. She was at work, and she left the building to like go take a smoke break. And when she walked out on the street, she was somewhere complete. She was like years behind. She went back into the past. And people were looking at her really strange, and everything looked like in the 1940s or 50s or so. You okay?
Yeah.
And it took a while, but she ended up finally back in the time that she was supposed to be in. There's the man, hey Flamingo. The most popular one was the man from Torrid. That's the most popular one. This was in the 1950s. He got off a plane, and his passport said he was from somewhere that did not exist, a country. They looked for all his paperwork checked out. His passport was legit, but this country does not exist. They held the man in a closed, sealed hotel room, guarded by two men, and at some point during the course of the night, he and all paperwork linked to him disappeared. Now, that one to me would speak more to the issue of a matrix, because people would have to erase something, would be responsible for moving people back to where they belong and erasing the mistakes so that no one could prove that this had actually occurred. What other examples did they give? A girl whose mother's name had changed and she didn't notice. She went to go get her birth certificate and it said a different name. And when she got home, she checked other documents and all that had changed as well. But she very clearly remembered, you don't forget something like your mother's first, last, and middle name. And her stepfather's name had all legit changed. So there are lots of shows and movies that document all these different, like I said, you got Rick and Morty, which is the cartoon that does it. Of course, the classic Back to the Future with Marty McFly and Doc, which actually Rick and Morty is modeled after, but they couldn't name it that because, for obvious reasons, copyright reasons. What else is out there? The TV show Sliders. That was a badass show, and I don't know why they did not continue it. The TV show Sliders. So there are lots and lots and lots of movies that speak to this. There are people who have driven down roads that took them to places they did not recognize. Towns they did not recognize. People and beings they did not recognize. The stories are endless. So, that being said, all these stories cannot possibly be just stories. I'm sorry. There's got to be some foundation to it. There's got to be some foundation to it. Time travel. There are many, many rumors that there is an organization by the name of CERN. Let me pull it up so I can see exactly what the internet has to say about CERN. It is said, if you've ever heard of Nikola Tesla, that he created a time machine. And that okay, CERN houses what is called the Large Hadron Collider. It is the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator. It first started up on September 10th, 2008, and remains the latest addition to CERN's accelerator complex. The LHC consists of 27-kilometer ring of superconducting magnets with a number of accelerating structures to boost the energies of particles along the way. Now, it is said that this accelerator can indeed, at the very least, transport matter from one location to another. And if we can transport matter from one location to another, then it's not too far of a cry that we could actually be transporting people back and forward either way in time. Okay? So I want to get into the Higgs boson. I don't know. ah. All right, let's see. See, they're already, even when you start to CERN, Large Hadron Collider black hole, CERN, Large Hadron Collider opening portals, CERN, Large Hadron Collider and Shiva. Okay. CERN. Lord. All right, top 3 CERN conspiracy theories that you won't believe. I do. We're gonna talk about Donald Trump and the Baron in a minute. Hold on. What is CERN? CERN is a massive particle physics laboratory located in Geneva on the border of France and Switzerland. The name stands for Conseil Européen pour la Recherche Nucléaire. The stated goal of the laboratory, as published on the organization's website, is to probe the fundamental structure of the universe. It's a probing that has countless conspiracy theories around the world very concerned. The laboratory is famous for housing the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, the world's largest particle accelerator, measuring a massive 27 kilometers. The accelerator's purpose is to collide subatomic particles at nearly the speed of light. At such a high velocity, these collisions create a variety of other subatomic particles that other instruments known as detectors identify and measure after the collisions. The process is meant to reveal to scientists what potentially unknown particles make up the very essence of all matter found in the world today. However, both conspiracy theorists and even some mainstream observers have some concerns that the scientists may not even fully understand the ramifications of what they are doing. CERN conspiracy theory number 1, a portal to hell. There are some who believe that the unintended or intended effect of colliding subatomic particles at the speed of light is to literally open up the gates of hell. Why would anyone think such a thing? For one thing, CERN scientists have openly admitted that they're attempting to create an antimatter. What is antimatter? Antimatter are subatomic particles that reverse the electrical charge of normal subatomic particles. Advocates of the Big Bang Theory believe that the antimatter was created along with everything else during the formation of the universe, but unlike matter, the antimatter is very rare. Basically, what antimatter would do was erase us. Antimatter would reverse the existence of all existing matter. Like the theory of what a black hole would do, just suck everything into nothingness, is basically what antimatter would do. It would basically erase everything as we know it. Just like Thanos. Click. Gone. Okay? In December of 2016, scientists at CERN finally managed to use a laser to create atoms of antimatter out of hydrogen, which were able to maintain in existence long enough to study very briefly. It was an insignificant discovery. No, I'm sorry, it was a significant discovery. Immediately, many Christian observers accused the scientists of trying to open up a portal to hell. One publication, known as the Christian Truther, published an article claiming that antimatter would be a demonically charged particle retrieved from the pit, bringing with it chaos and destruction. Today, the article is deleted and the original website replaced by a new one titled The Christian Journal. However, the satanic theory remains. Okay. All right. In fact, many conspiracy theorists point to the very weird opening ceremony of the Gothard Tunnel as evidence of CERN's satanic roots. Yeah, that looks like Baphomet. They're dancing around in devil costumes. Okay, moving forward. All right. CERN conspiracy theory number 1. The Mandela effect. If you've never heard it before, you may want to take a moment to read your academic explanation of the Mandela effect. In short, it's a phenomenon where many people remember an event from the past occurring differently than it actually occurred in reality. In short, it's a phenomenon where people remember an event. It's called the Mandela effect because there are so many people who believe Nelson Mandela died in jail in the 1980s when in fact he didn't. Countless people also swear that the Berenstain books were actually called the Berenstain Bears. What does this have to do with CERN? Well, there are some who believe that CERN particle experiments are causing shifts in reality that push the entire world into an alternate dimension. People who are old enough to remember the old reality as it happened remember it as such. But kids who are too young to have lived through it learn the new reality from books and media they read. Sounds pretty far-fetched. But then again, so does the idea of some atomic particles colliding near the speed of light, creating antimatter out of thin air. We must admit that the Mandela effect is a bit creepy when you think about it, but isn't it just a little more likely that it's caused by mass understanding of book titles or movie quotes rather than a piece of machinery slipping into the universe, into another dimension? Nope. No, sir. No, it does not. Not for those of you not for people who remember it a certain way. Let's see. You said, can you give a list of? Okay, one of the video. Well, what is this on? Is this on YouTube? It is. One of them is the Illuminati. Hold on, I'll write them down, and I'll actually see if I can find the list. This one is the Illuminati opening ceremony of Gothard Base. Now, as far as Mandela effect, if you go to YouTube and just type in Mandela effect, what happened?
She in there while I'm spraying it, trying to eat them.
Oh, they chase them and eat them. It's fun for them.
But I'm spraying the food.
I know. Okay, but put her. Oh, you're right. Okay, leave her in here with me. I got you. Now for Mandela effect, there's no need for me to tell you what videos. You can go to YouTube and put in Mandela effect, and you're going to get hundreds, hundreds of Mandela effect videos. And if you watch them, I swear, if you're old enough, one of them will hit you like, damn, that shit right there is right or wrong or however you want to look at it. Okay, so we did Mandela effect. Why did they all say number one? Human sacrifice. In 2016, the video showed up on the internet that appeared to show an occult ritual taking place in front of the Hindi deity Shiva inside the grounds of the CERN complex. Ooh. The person filming the video appeared to have turned on the camera to film strange movement in the shadows. To his surprise, several cloaked figures walked into the spotlights near the statue. One young female dropped her cloak and laid on the ground while a second cloaked figure pulled out a knife, walked over, and apparently stabbed her into the chest. This video is unavailable. The person with the camera laughed at first at the absurdity of the scene, then breathing heavily when the knife came out, and finally cursing and panicking once the stabbing took place. I showed this video to several people. Some felt the person acted authentically, and others said it was clearly acting. The video has been taken down. The video is not here. It says this video is unavailable. However, after the video was released, CERN's spokesperson admitted to the reporters that the video was actually filmed inside CERN's grounds. However, they claim that the entire ritual has been staged as a part of an elaborate prank. These scenes were filmed on our premises without our official permission or knowledge. CERN does not condone this type of spoof, which can give rise to understanding about the scientific nature of our work. CERN welcomes every year thousands of scientific users from all over the world, and sometimes some of them might let their humor go too far. This is what happened on this occasion. Okay. Okay. It's not touching on. Let me see if I can find. Oh, that's the other one. I'm not finding. That's interesting that I'm not finding anything. Um, Okay. All right. The Mandela effect, CERN. Oh, this is on Gaia. So basically, this is saying, hold on. Wait. Now I know damn well. Hold on. Okay, these are. I'm gonna read some of these to you. Basically, when I put in CERN and time travel, I'm not getting anything. But it's if you watch YouTube videos, it's there. Um, these are some examples of Mandela effect. Y'all, let me know. Um, videos and movies. Okay, so K-Mod, there was Happy Death Day. That's about, and actually, I would more so recommend the second one. There's Happy Death Day 1 and 2. I would recommend the second one. Everybody knows about Groundhog's Day. These are time loop movies. Um, of course, The Matrix. What else did we say? I don't know. I think Sliders is on Netflix. I think Sliders. He creates a time machine and they start jumping time. There's another one that tried to launch on a major network. Oh, what was that one? It was just a couple years ago. Uh, where the first time didn't keep up with it, but the first time she went back in time, they sent her to change something or to do something. And the very first time she went back in time, when she got back, her sister was missing. She had no sister. I don't know what they changed or what little fine thing she changed, but when she got back, she was an only child. She no longer had a sister. And her family was like, "Who are you talking about?" And she was like, "I had a sister." And they were like, "No, we never had any other kids." Um, Time travel, TV shows. I'm gonna read you some of these Mandela effects. Manifest. They said Loki is one. Marie's watching Loki. Hold on. Star Trek Discovery, Dark, The Umbrella Academy, Sulphur Springs, Undone, Outlander, Travelers? Is that the one? Legion, 12 Monkeys, Doctor Who, Once Upon a Time, Future Man, Timeless. That's the one. Timeless. I forget what network it came on. It ran 2 seasons, but it was government. It was a government program. And when she went back in time, the very first time, something she did erased her damn sister. She came back and had no sister. There are so many of them here. Continuum. That's a good one. Uh, there's only one season of Somewhere Between. Uh, one that people never did, Land of the Lost. That was definitely time travel or alternate dimension. Quantum Leap, that was another one. That was a good one from the 80s. Quantum Leap. We all know about Stargate. Stargate takes you to other worlds and other dimensions as well. Like I said, timeless. Making History, that one is funny, but it's good too. Making History is good. Lifeline. Of course, you know about the Terminator. Looper. That's a good movie. Looper was a really good movie. Okay. There are so many. You can pull up. There's a lot. There's a lot. Okay, so I'm going to read you some of these. There's a lot came on. You can pull up a list, and that's good. But these are like some of the best ones. Sliders is the shit. Timeless was good. It ran for 2 seasons. Continuum, Quantum Leap was the shit. Making History, Lifeline. Making History was funny. It's funny. Lifeline, Looper. Looper is really good. Okay. The other one, The Time Traveler's Wife. That one is romantic. Time Traveler's Wife. That was a good one. Or was it The Time Traveler's Husband? Wife. Because he's the time traveler. Right. Okay, so these y'all let me know in the comments if any of these. That's what I meant. That's what I wanted to. Hold on, because I know damn well that is. Okay. All right. Okay. So that Nelson Mandela died versus in 2013 versus died in prison. That It's a Beautiful Day in the. Okay, that's the other thing, y'all know how I feel about Mr. Rogers. You see how I am about music. I can hear a song twice and I know that song. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. No, they're trying to say it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. That shit don't even sound right. Don't even sound right. Bernstein Bears versus Bernstein Bears, which is a simple flip of the. No, it's spelled STAIN versus STEIN. The death of Billy Graham in 2018 versus him dying years ago was President Clinton giving the eulogy. I don't give a fuck about Billy Graham, so I really wouldn't have paid attention to when the fuck he kicked the bucket, as long as he did. Excuse me. King Henry VIII's portrait holding a glove versus a turkey leg. Mother Teresa canonized post-mortem versus in the 1990s. The rock group Queen ended with "We Are the Champions" versus "Of the World." I remember "Of the World." Sex and the City versus Sex in the City. Jif peanut butter versus Jiffy peanut butter. I will remember it being Jif. Choosy moms choose Jif. I don't ever remember there being an extra F or Y on the container. Curious George without a tail versus with a tail. Never was a Curious George fan, so I can't weigh in on that one. 3CPO was a silver leg versus a gold leg. Now, me and my uncle, Star Wars ride or die fans, we watched, because, you had your VCR, and if you got a good tape, boy, you watched that bitch till you couldn't no more. We watched Star Wars repeatedly, and not ever, ever did 3CPO have a silver leg. That fool was gold from head to toe. Always. All of a sudden, they gave him a silver leg and told us he been that way. You got me fucked up. That is not the case. You really got me fucked up. Okay? All right. Patrick Swayze died of pancreatic cancer versus he fully recovered. Now, I pulled it up and this says that he dies. So I don't know where that one came from. I remember him dying of cancer. Right. He died of pneumonia that was said to be a complication of the chemotherapy for his cancer. Right. So that's what he died from. So I don't know what that one is about. This is the other one. The Monopoly Man, they're saying he did not have a monocle. I remember him with a monocle. I remember him with the monocle. So if you pull up Mandela effects on, let me see if I can find some more. Okay, here's 40 of them. No, I don't remember Curious George with a tail. That looks fucked up. Okay. Okay, of course they start with his death. Jiffy versus Jif. Looney Tunes. Is it spelled Toons or Tunes? Looney Tunes. How do you remember it? Then there's the Berenstain Bears one. There's Curious George. I can't see him with the tail. There's, like I said, and then there's the Sex in the City and Sex and the City. Febreze. Who remembers Febreze having two E's? Febreeze versus Sebreze. Febreze. That's one. Oscar Mayer. My baloney has a first name, it's Oscar. My baloney has a second name, it's Mayer. Yeah, so I don't know who remembers it with an E, but for me it's always been an A. You see I'm musical. Skechers. Did Skechers have a T? Or did Skechers not have a T? I can't remember. I want to say it looks better. It looks correct without the T. Uh, Fruit Loops. Some people remember it being, see, but this is the thing. Depending on what universe you may have been from, it could have been that way. Fruit Loops, Fruit, or Fruit Loops, Froot. I remember OOT because the Fruit Loops made the O's. Let me see, Marie, hold on. Stuck in a cord, hold up. Oh. All right, Marie, when did you switch timelines? 1E. Right, and I remember Fruit Loops that way. I remember it with two E's too. The Febreze. Mm, the Monopoly Man with the monocle. Mm, let me see. All right. The Monopoly Man with or without the monocle? My son would know this one. I would not. Pikachu, with or without the black mark on the end of the tail? Kit Kat, with or without a dash? Fruit of the Loom, with or without. I remember this. I remember this. I remember this, not that. I remember this one. See, Marie, we were talking about this one the other night. This is the Mona Lisa I know. I don't know who this smiling bitch is over here. I don't know Mona Lisa with the resting bitch face. I don't know Mona Lisa with the smile. This is not the answer. He did not have no silver damn leg. This is what I remember. This is bullshit. That is entirely bullshit. Is it the Flintstones? Or where's the Flint Stones or the Flintstones? I remember the Flint Stones. I don't know what the hell is that. What is that? I don't know what that is. Okay, life is like a box of chocolates. It's not what Forrest Gump, played by Tom Hanks, actually said. If you listen closely, he says life was like a box of chocolates. We're regretting all of those ink was like a box of chocolates. No, it's life is like a box of chocolates because you never know what you're going to get, right? No, because the way he worded it, that's right. Because he said, my mama always said life was like a box of chocolates because you're never going to know what you're going to get. So it was. Mirror, mirror on the wall. That apparently was not the line in Snow White. She said magic mirror on the wall instead of mirror, mirror. I don't know, y'all. This one got me too. Luke, I am your father. Honestly, this was the one that cut deep. He said, for the most famous movie line in history, wasn't even said. All he said was, I am your father. He never said Luke. He just said, I am your father. Bullshit. Luke, I am your father. I remember that. James Earl Jones did the voice. Never watched. What is that? Lord of the Rings? Run, you fools. Never watched. Who was that? Or was that Harry Potter? I don't know what movie that was. Gandalf? That was Lord of the Rings, I believe. Never really got into. Hello, Clarice. He never said hello, Clarice. All he said was good morning. Bullshit, he said her name in a creepy ass way. You got me fucked up. Right, mirror, mirror. Right. Freddie Mercury belting out of the world at the end of We Are the Champions, but it never happened. However, Freddie does sing the world at the end of the song during the band's sing the words at the end of the song during the band's famous Wembley Stadium performance. So during a live performance, he just changed the words, and that wasn't how it was on the record. Bullshit. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. Bullshit. Damn right they said of the world. Been singing that since elementary school. Mr. Rogers' theme song. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood? No. They don't even sound right. I was singing that since I was 3. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? This doesn't even sound right. What is this one? Oh, I can't remember exactly what this one was. They need to put the words. Are they not going to say anything about it? Apparently something about the map of the United States has changed. And I forget where it is. I want to say it's in this region. Why aren't they giving me a caption about this one? Let me scroll down. Okay, number of the U.S. states. The correct answer is 50, obviously, but some Americans and foreigners alike recall learning that there were 51 or 52 states. I want to say I remember there being more than 50 as well. But who did we lose or gain? Hmm. Sinbad never played a genie. This is the one. You got me fucked up. I remember this movie. I remember Shaquille O'Neal as Shazam, as Kazam. Yes, but I remember Shazam, a movie with uh Sinbad. I'm sorry. I just do. I remember Smokey Bear. It's not Smokey the Bear? Okay. Ooh. Something from Tank Man. They made him take it down. Neil Armstrong's death. Oddly enough, people had no recollection of Neil Armstrong's death. Um, they apparently forgot or didn't notice the news of his passing in 2012. Oh, he died and ain't nobody care. Shit. Billy Graham's death. That's probably because it didn't happen long ago. He died in 2018. See, didn't really give two fucks long as he is actually gone. God forgive me. Moving forward. Mother Teresa's canonization. Strong about she was canonized as a saint. Happened in 2016. I remember that. Yes. Space Shuttle Challenger exploding. Though this tragic event took place on January 28, 1986, there are a number of people who thought it happened in 84 or 85. No. Hold the phone. That happened in 84 or 5 because I was in the 5th grade. I remember whose class we were in because to break the monotony, my 5th grade teacher, Mr. Scholl, said, and I quote, um, 5th or 6th grade? 6th grade. He said, and I quote, damn, and y'all, because there was a contest to enter, you had to enter your teacher and write an essay as to why you thought they should be the teacher to go into space because there was a teacher on the flight. And she won, whoever she was. I can't remember her name. But my teacher was like, God, and y'all entered me. Gee, thanks. And to break the monotony. And everybody was like, we laughed, but it was funny, not funny. You know what I mean? But we had entered him because he was the shit. And he was like, and when the other chick got picked, he was like, I don't even get to go to space. He was like, y'all didn't write the essay well enough. And was making, I mean, he was a really funny teacher. And it was the same year that my brother died. And that was 1985. Okay. Come on. The Lindbergh baby. When the aviator charged Lindbergh, this is the one that got me too. Infant son was kidnapped. The entire world focused their attention on the story. Um, Many remember the case going cold, but sadly they found the baby and sentenced the killer to death for his heinous crimes. They never found that baby as far as I remember. Though the actor sadly died after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, people have said they remember him recovering. No, I remember him dying. So they came from a different timeline, the people that remember him recovering. Leonardo DiCaprio's first Oscar. Finally took home his first Oscar for Best Actor in 2016. Countless people argue that he scored one much earlier, but it's easier to get this one confused though because he was previously nominated 5 other times. Yeah, he didn't get one till Django, I believe. Um Location of Disney World Castle. If you've ever been to Magic Kingdom, the castle, you recall where the castle was located. Some or even one Orlando local on Reddit clearly remembers it being at the entrance to the park. So it's not at the entrance to the park. Never been, wouldn't know. Okay. All right. There's another one with the. Hold on. Let me find this one. No. There we go. Okay. Who remembers? Can you give me both? The Beats by Dre. Mandela effect. Some people say it never said by Dre, and some people said it just said Beats. I'm trying to find it. Won't give me. Ugh. Hold on. Oh. They got YouTube videos on it, but not. But that's one. If you can remember the. Trying to find a picture of it. Because I remember. I just remember it being okay. They say some people say it said Beats by Dr. Dre, and some people said that it said Beats by Dre. I remember it just saying Beats by Dre, not by Dr. Dre. Right, it was Beats by Dre, and there was a girl who weighed in on it, and she was like she worked in. Let me turn the camera back around now. She worked in Target, y'all, in electronics, and she said she stocked them damn headphones all fucking day long, so she know damn well that it said Beats by Dre, not Dr. Dre. And it just looks funny. It don't even look right. And there's so many more. Like I said, you can pull up any YouTube video and it will give you a great number of Mandela effects. Like I said, Febreze apparently only has one E. I remember two as well, Marie. I remember two as well. So they're saying that some of us may have switched timelines. Some of us remember it one way, some of us remember it another way, and that's because CERN has been fucking with our timeline. That's what they say. Guam and PR. Oh, it's part of the United States, Marie? Is that why they counted more than one state? And somebody, right, it's Guam and Puerto Rico. From different timelines. Right, came out. That's the theory. They said it actually, that is one of the theories came out that in 2012, when it was predicted to end, that it actually did end. And people came back from merged from different timelines. That could be, because I'm telling you, that's about the time that I started to like change things. I became extremely uncomfortable with my life in 2012. It was like I had some type of massive awakening and was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. I got to change this. And I left. Actually, that's when I left my first husband in 2012. I just couldn't sit still anymore. Right, 10 years ago, because it's 2021. So, yeah, they say around 2012, okay, Mom. And then there's all kinds of glitches, other glitches, visual glitches, um, like planes that appear to not be moving, things changing colors caught on camera, um, people doing things that they're not normally, you can't normally although I do believe that we can float and levitate, um, but just, you know what I'm saying? Things acting out of alignment with what natural physics say they should. Right, came on, exactly. Me too. Me too. Things that I was like, you know what, I used to think. But no, that shit really, yeah, I used to think I was just high or I was just tired or I was just, you know what I mean? Like today, I was in my car and I'm watching all the vehicles around me. I'm looking at them very carefully. My daughter was in the car with me, but I didn't say nothing. But everything was moving. We were sitting still. They were doing road construction, and they were laying. We were like waiting. You know, they close one lane to pave one lane, and then you take turns using the lane they're not working on. We were waiting our turn, and we were going backwards. There was no, I looked to the left, and everything was still, and I looked to the right, and everything was still. But as I looked in front of me, the car in front of me was sitting still, but my car was moving backwards. I had my foot on the brake and it was moving through the front window, not through either side, just through the front window. And like I said, Kama, there might be something to look into there. Um, I don't think that the masculine that I fell in love with is the same one that I deal with now. I think that's somebody different. I don't think that is my masculine. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that's him. At some point I think I switched timelines. Yep, at some point I think I switched timelines. Really, came off? Wow. Yeah, they were saying it like a couple weeks ago. Because, like I said, I remember specifically when my aunt explained to me, because I was a kid. Why else would I have known? I remember my aunt explaining specifically to me who Nelson Mandela was when he died in the 80s, and why she was upset, and what he had done to go to jail in the first place, and her being very upset about the fact that he had died and not never got a chance to get out of prison. I That's what I remember. You cannot tell me it was a beautiful day in this neighborhood. You got me fucked up. That don't even. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. That doesn't even sound right. I watch Sesame Street every day. Y'all know I love. I'm always talking about. Marie will tell you. I'm always talking about Mr. Rogers. Shit, that was the only adult home some days. I am musically inclined. That is not. You cannot tell me that. Yep. Yep. Came on. Exactly. Because like I said, my aunt was very militant. I remember her explaining the whole damn thing to me. I, when I was like 10 or so. You're not the only one, came on. I'm right here with you. I remember. I remember. Because then I remember seeing him as president and thinking to myself, didn't he die? But I never said nothing. And then when I seen that shit, I was like, I'm not alone. He did die. I remember his wife crying. I remember his wife crying. I remember his wife crying and giving a speech about how the injustice of the situation. I just, honey. Um, Supposed to be came out, but clearly we're not. Because, I mean, think about the things that, because like I said, I don't remember it being, I remember Jif, it always being Jif peanut butter. I don't know who remembered it being Jiffy. Um, some of the examples are like crazy. They go deep. If you pull them up on YouTube, you can watch them all night. and people that have experienced different, excuse me, go into different dimensions. I mean, I I'm a person who's been to the Akashic Library in my sleep, and I know I was there. And I've met people who have also been there. And so I I I can't dismiss. See, you remember Jiffy. I never remember a Y. I remember JIF. Choosing moms choose Jif. Period. That's what I remember. Um, yeah, yeah, agreed, Kema. We are definitely being thinned out. And see, that's another reason I worry about my ex, because if you're not accepting if you're not accepting your upgrades, if you're fighting your evolution, if you're fighting your you know what I'm saying, your enlightenment, what the heck, you're gonna be stuck, bitch. And so some of us are falling in alignment with each other, and people aren't even recognizing why we're falling in alignment with each other the way that we are. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Let me pull that shit up. Um, the theory, y'all know the theory about Donald Trump, right? Um, um, so there's a book, two books. One of them is The Last President, and the other one is, what's the name of the book? The Adventures of, and then the other book is Baron Van Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. Um, both books are like related; they're connected. I forget which one comes first, but 93. Um, not the under the Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey and The Last President. Um, Underground Journey comes first, and then The Last President. So basically, these two books are about a boy who finds a time machine or portal or something like that, and and his father goes back in time, or Don, the guy who goes with him, his name is Don, goes back in time with him, and basically it's all like related, and there are so many coincidences. Or that's another thing you can pull up on YouTube. and look at. So apparently, there's a theory about that as well. So pull those up on. There's actually, I watched a reaction video about it on the top 10. I'm gonna drop as many of these in the comments of this video as I can, so y'all can check it out. Um, so there's a theory that that dumbass actually has traveled in time, and it talks about the last president, an unlikely candidate that becomes president and wreaks all types of havoc, and Pence is even mentioned in the book. The name Pence is even mentioned in the damn book. You can't, you just cannot. Yeah, come on. They're trying to send us out. There is also and someone leaked supposedly a list of like the an Illuminati plan to dominance, to world domination, and one of them is the global pandemic and the thinning out of the population. You can't. Then the consolidation of money, or actually the disillusion of money. So they're trying to get us, and they're trying to get it to the point where we don't even deal in paper money anymore. Where all currencies are card. They've been trying to do that for a minute. But yeah, it came out. I believe, honestly, I I I feel as though there's definitely a matrix of sorts. Of sorts. I do feel as though um we are controlled by the same. Remember, I'm not when I did the how the universe works things, and I had the creators. I feel like that's who runs shit for real, for real, and that's who is responsible for correcting all of the mistakes and all of the shit that goes wrong. You know what I mean? And moving us where something happens in this timeline. Okay, wait, something happened. We gotta move this person. We have to. You know what I mean? I feel like that's who. Because like I said, it's. I had a conversation with a guy who somebody told he was just crazy. He lived in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and he was like, somebody told him that he is the creator. And I was like, why would you be living in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and working a regular fucking job, dude? And why would you have children? And why are you lying about being married? Because I pulled cards on him. He was crazy. And I was like, why would you, if you were the creator, why would you be living this type of low vibrational life that you're living? You would not. Wouldn't you have bigger fish to fry? Anyway, oh God, sunshine, I apologize that happened to you. I hope you call the police and press charges. Um, moving forward, um, Kema, we you, I I feel like it's like I said, and that's who controls things. Because like I said, it's a council of creators, and I feel like that's who controls things and moves us around for whatever reasons. And it's because honestly, I have felt odd I can't explain it, but it's like ever since it's been a while. I want to relate it to. I'm gonna tell you something. I had I had a nervous breakdown in 2014, and I feel like that's when it happened to me, or that's one of the times that something happened to me. Because I had two. I had one in 2012 and one in 2014, and I feel like that's when my time shifted. And I don't know what the purpose was, but ever since the one in 2014, I have felt very, very odd. Hey, Unholy Arrow, welcome, baby love. Yes, you missed a good one. We've been talking about CERN and multiverses and the Matrix and all that good stuff and Mandela effect, which he did die in my reality. I remember him dying in the 80s because I remember my auntie going off about it. Sunshine, sweetheart, you would have to wait for my next chat. I'm not answering questions right now. And I really think that's more of an issue that you need to handle legally. Why? Doesn't matter. Have you handled it legally? That's self explanatory, honey. Greed and deception. I mean, why people steal? That's not a tarot question. That's a human nature question. Greed and deception is why people steal. Um, oh, okay, Ma, that's a good one. Oh, the other thing is the recycling of our souls, reincarnation. We got people. Let me tell you. Did I tell you? I told y'all the story when I was sitting there and my son was 4. He was 4. I was sitting there watching a documentary on Adolf Hitler, and my son came to and stood in front of the TV, and he looked at me and he watched, and I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Mommy, I know that man." He said, "I used to work for him." He said, "We didn't like him, but we were afraid of him. And he made us do really bad things, and we didn't want to do the things he told us to do, but we were scared of him. So we had to do the things that he told us to do, or he would kill us. We could die." And a lot of my friends died. And he said, and I had to hurt a lot of people. And he said he was proud of me because I was good at my job, but I didn't want to do the things he told me to do. I was just afraid of him. So I had to do them. And I was like, "What did you have to do?" And he was just like, "I don't want to talk about it." And then he went back to his room at 4 fucking years old. And he's always after that resonated. He's always brought it up. He's always said, even now as a grown ass man, he'd be like, "Yeah, Ma, I know in my last lifetime I was a fucking Nazi." And my son is sadistic. He really is. That's some karma to carry from lifetime to lifetime. And he is suffering. And there are stories, many, many stories. Thank you, Kma, because this isn't the chat for that. Which story, Kma? Kma, I just think she's got some mental issues because she's been in the chat before and said some things that were kind of off. I didn't circle up here, Desiree. You might be able to go back and catch it. But but what I was saying, Desiree, was that my son, in his past life, he remembers being a Nazi. He remembers working for Hitler, and he told me that shit at 4 years old. And there was no way he didn't stand there and watch the whole documentary with me. He came from the other room playing and was coming through to do something. And he stopped and he came and stood in front of the TV and he looked at it and then he started explaining shit to me. And then he went back to his damn room. Told me he didn't want to talk about it. And he's always brought it up over the years. He'd be like, "Ma, I know that's what I did in my past life. I know what I did in my past life. I know what I was in my past life." I buffered on your side. Okay, I didn't buffer here. Mine stayed up here. So I mean, past lives are some real shit, and I can't. I don't know. There's no other way to for me to explain. I can't explain that. And there are lots of people who have had these experiences and their children telling stories and knowing about other places and describing other people and their lives and houses and locations they've never been. And I mean, come on, y'all. We it's not like it's cut and dry like they want us to think it's cut and dry. It's not. It's really, really not. It is really, really not. And I don't know. You could be unholy arrow. I do past life readings if you want one. I do, there my past life readings are $44. My daughter was a healer in a past life and had to run and hide because they didn't want her to perform the type of healing that she was performing. You know, witches had to move under the dark in the shade, and she would be called to help people and heal people and move. She always had to stay on the run. She had to move quick. She had to move light, but she was highly esteemed and sought after to move around and heal people. And it was in the Mediterranean area, and it was back in the day. She was in like Sicily, Italy, Greek, Greece, Spain, in that area, in the Mediterranean area, Athens, back then. And that could be. Hey Marie, you missing good shit, girl. And I mean, I've never dug deep into my past life. For some reason, I feel like I don't want to know. I really feel like I do not want to know. I don't know why. I just feel like I don't want to know. I don't know. I don't know why. I can't explain it. There's got to be a reason. So I just don't bother. Oh, wow. Desiree, I was telling my daughter that I actually, like, I counsel y'all. I actually was taken to Fay Realm to counsel a couple, and it was just odd. I helped, but it was just odd. Okay, that makes sense, Unholy Arrow, and that's how I feel about my situation. For some reason, I don't want to know. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that. My spirit God just said, because he said, I don't want you to know because it would stop you from doing something that you're supposed to do in this lifetime. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Marie, that's possible. That's possible. I didn't think about that, Marie. You could be right, because she did say off stuff like that. She did say off stuff like that. I am so hungry, y'all. And I didn't even read. And I just ate a sandwich at like, I ate a sandwich at like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that was 6 hours ago. And then that was all I ate all day. So you could be right, because Marie, that was random. And then people have to. I am empathetic and understanding of people's issues and problems. If she's whoever that is really having issues, then I feel sorry for them. But at the same time, it's disrespectful. This is not the chat for that. We're here talking about a very specific things, and not, this is not the free open chat. But yeah, Marie, I remember. I sure do. I remember. Um, did we touch on everything, y'all? How do you feel about let's see, I think we covered everything. I think we covered everything. I am gonna do a healing part 2, all about healing, cosmic chat. I'm gonna do a healing part 2 because I want to go more in depth into chakra healing, because I wanted to talk more about yoga and yoga poses. And what else did I want to talk about? There were some other things that I wanted to address when it came to healing as well. We did quantum theory, Marie. We did quantum theory in the beginning. 'Cause remember, I talked about how one of the theories is, the major ones are that there are different little things in each. We talked about it. You missed that too. Okay, yes, you got to go back. And we talked about how making a decision in one theory, making the decisions that we make split the universe, split into another world. Like if I decided I want to quit doing YouTube, there's a me that'll keep going and doing it and see where it goes, and that'll create a whole nother spin-off universe. Like there's a me that's still with masculine, and God only knows how that's going. There's a me who stayed with my husband. There's a me that married my son's father. There, you know what I'm saying? Because I made different choices, it created another world. It's that theory. Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it. You got to go back to the beginning. Um, what else? Did we not touch on anything? One of the other topics I wanted to discuss was we talked about aliens from the aspect of being star seeds. I wanted to get more into some of the other alien theories, like are they here? Are we? Because we are here. I feel like we are. None of us are originally from here. Because if you look at our genetic DNA, anything that was created on this planet and born on this planet has a different genetic makeup than we do. Okay. Hey, Shield Maidens, Witches Tarot. And then, what else? And I wanted to talk about the theory about the fact that or not fact, the people who say the moon isn't real. That's a good one. That's what we'll do. We'll do one strictly about conspiracy theories, period. That's what we'll do. So the next Cosmic Chat, y'all, will be about conspiracy theories as a whole. We'll talk about the Illuminati. We will talk about different things in how many of y'all think Tupac is really dead? Who thinks Pac is really dead? Biggie is dead. I'm not. That's not an issue. But who think? Yeah, flat Earth. Who thinks Pac is really dead? That part. Um, the Illuminati. That thought that that's who had that Bernie Mac did not die of natural causes. That he was killed. Have you heard that one? Um, what else? I know that's right, Marie. Mary J. Blige slipped up one time when she was addressing something about Aaliyah's passing and said that she was getting her life together and giving her life over to God and concealing a covenant with God because she didn't want to end up like other celebrities who they who died of a drug overdose or in some plane crash or some, you see what I'm saying? Um Will I Am. There's a clip. I'm gonna put a bunch of clips for this one. Will I Am. There's a clip, an interview with Will I Am. Well, they ask him about Kanye West, and what he says is Kanye soul is long gone. That he's not in there. That is not Kanye. That's what he said. Will I Am does not talk a lot. When people speak that don't usually speak, I fucking listen. Um, and they all say he's so weird. Yeah, you listen to the weird people. That's who the fuck you listen to. You listen to the weird people. Weird. Uh, what else? What else, y'all? That's about all I can really think of. Did we touch? We talked about CERN. We talked about the collider. We talked about quantum theory, time travel, um, multiverses. Uh, we talked about the dude that's supposed to be trapped in 20 27 all by himself. I'll try to find that link and post that in the um what else did I want to post here? Uh Oh, the prophetic, um, the cartoon, the cartoon writers that are said to be prophetic, like oh boy that writes Boondocks and what's his name that does The Simpsons. I mean, them two. So we'll talk about that. That'll be all in conspiracy theories, and that'll be our next cosmic chat. Ooh, it's 10:41. Shit. All right, y'all. I'm gonna sign off. This has been an awesome, awesome cosmic chat. I got off to a rough start in the beginning because the technical shit is harder to explain. So I just had to kind of abandon the technical side of it and go with the most popular theories and break it down in the layman's terms the best that I could. Um, there, like I said, there's still a video. It's on the Cosmic Chat watch list, and it's at the bottom, the very last video. It'll look like a fucked up McDonald's sign on the thumbnail. Check that out. That'll help explain a lot more of these theories as well, as far as how multiverses actually are broken down, how the different theories on multiverses. So you saw that one. Okay. All right. So, did anybody else have anything they wanted to add before I close it down? I'll be back to do questions for a little bit. Do I feel like it? I really don't feel like it. Need to, but don't feel like it. Because I'm hungry and I'm tired. I had like no sleep. You know what, y'all? I think I'm going to take the night off. I don't think I'm going to do questions tonight. I'm not. I'm not going to do questions tonight. I will. Tomorrow's Friday. I will do your weekend read for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I will do questions tomorrow night. Okay? I'm not tonight, y'all. I didn't get much sleep. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm saying fuck it. And this was a good chat. This was a really good chat. All right. I love y'all. I love y'all. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.